Welcome back, Antony. I can only imagine that you're still in a state of shock. Your friend and Rome's great leader has been assassinated. And as you grieve, you still have to be concerned about your own safety. But you've met with the conspirators, and they have assured you that they do not plan on hurting you. They want to explain why they killed Caesar, and they'd also like to judge the reaction of the Roman people.
Yes, the reaction of the Roman people.
Brutus certainly thinks it's important. And you've been sure to ask him for permission to speak. And you said you wanted to do so with Caesar's body. Speak as if a friend would at a funeral.
That's right. Only seems fair.
Yes, and Brutus is okay with it, as long as you don't blame them for what happened, and that you are sure to say that you were given permission to speak.
I can understand that. I mean, they don't want me to play a role in upsetting the Roman citizens, and they want the people to know who are calling the shots.
But we also learn, after Brutus has left, that you're in a lot more inner turmoil than you're letting on. And that you have a prediction that there might be chaos and bloodshed in the streets, that Caesar's spirit might seek revenge.
I guess time will tell.
And when you learn that Octavius is getting close to Rome, you warn him to stay outside of the city, because you don't know what the reaction of the people will be.
That's right. Let's find out how they're reacting.
Well, so there you are. You've brought Caesar's body to the marketplace. Though not to this interview, of course.
Oh, yes, I did. He's right here.
What? Really? Oh, dear. That wasn't necessary.
Oh, I disagree. I think it's absolutely crucial.
Well, there you are. You've brought Caesar's body to the marketplace, and Brutus has just finished speaking, and it's gone well. It's gone very well. The people are chanting, "Long live Brutus." They're planning to carry him to his house in celebration. Some even shout that Brutus should be crowned. Let him be Caesar, they say.
Yes, well, I guess I have a tough job ahead of me. But Brutus is going to let me speak, right?
Oh, yes. To his credit, he is sticking to the plan. And then it's your turn to speak. Do you mind telling us what you say?
Would you mind if I,
Sure. Go right ahead.
Friends, Romans, countrymen, listen up. I'm here to bury Caesar, not to praise him. The bad things that people do are remembered long after their deaths, but we quickly forget the good things. So let's do that with Caesar too. What was bad about Caesar? Well, Brutus says that Caesar was ambitious, that he wanted all the power that he could get. If that's true, then Caesar was a bad man, no doubt about it, and he deserved to die. And now, with permission from Brutus, since he's such an honorable man, I'm here to speak at Caesar's funeral. Is that okay? Can I keep going?
Yes, please. Go right ahead.
Caesar was my friend. He was good to me. But Brutus says that he was ambitious, and, well, Brutus is an honorable man. Caesar brought many captives to Rome, and the ransoms paid for those prisoners have made Rome rich. Does that sound like someone who's ambitious? When poor Romans complained of their poverty, Caesar would weep. Would an ambitious person care that much about the poor? But Brutus says that Caesar was ambitious and, he's honorable, right? And do you remember at the celebration yesterday when I offered the crown to Caesar 3 times and 3 times he refused it? Does that sound like ambition to you? Don't get me wrong. I am not trying to contradict Brutus. I'm only telling you what I know. You loved Caesar. Who wouldn't love him? So if you loved him while he was alive, shouldn't you mourn for him now that he's dead? I mean, come on. Are you animals or are you human beings? Sorry, my heart's in the grave with Caesar. I need a minute, please.
Antony, are you okay?
Do we know how they're reacting?
Well, yes, actually. According to some live polling, people think that you're basically making sense. That thing about the crown really hit home. People are starting to feel sorry for Caesar. And they're actually feeling sorry for you and the loss of your friend.
Can I?
Oh, sure. The camera's all yours.
You know, this morning, Caesar was the most powerful guy in the world. And now no one gives a sheep's duty, man. If I wanted to, I could make you so mad about what happened, but that wouldn't be fair to Brutus and Cassius, and they're honorable guys, right? So instead of being unfair to them, I'm gonna be unfair to the dead, and unfair to me, and unfair to you, because I don't wanna be unfair to them, right? So let's talk about this. It's Caesar's will. And if you knew it was in here, though I'm not gonna read it, you would kiss Caesar's wounds, and you would dip your clothes in his blood as if it were a sacred relic. You would beg for a hair from his head to remember him by and pass it on to your kids as a family heirloom. Never mind. I'm done.
Oh, that was Sutton. That's it? You're done.
Yeah. What's the use? I mean, he's dead.
Antony, something weird is happening. The studio is being flooded with calls. People are demanding that you read the will.
No, I can't do that. I mean, if people knew how much Caesar loved them, well, what do you think? They're made of stone? They're people, Servilia. They're made of flesh and blood. I mean, if they heard what was in the will, they would go crazy with anger that Caesar's been killed.
This will, by the way, how did you get it so fast? Where did it come from?
I know, it's too much. I should never have mentioned it. And now I'm getting concerned that I'm gonna upset those, honorable guys, the ones that stabbed Caesar. You don't want to get on their bad side.
The calls continue to come in. The polls are showing very unfavorable opinions of the murderers. They're being called villains. The tide is changing quickly.
And you think they really want to hear me read the will?
I don't think you'll be able to leave until you do.
Fine, I'll read it. But first, let's show them the body. Do you think we can show them the body?
No, sorry, it's not that kind of show.
No? Well, fine. Here. This should give you the idea. If you have tears, prepare to shed them now. You all know this mantle, right? I remember the first time Caesar put it on. It was a summer's evening in his tent after winning a major battle. Look. Look here. I think this is where Cassius put his dagger through. And here. See this hole that the envious Casca made is pretty big.
Envious Casca? You think they were motivated by envy?
Yeah, you heard me. Envious Casca. And then Brutus, who Caesar loved so much. I think this is where he stabbed Caesar. And just look at how Caesar's blood flowed when Brutus pulled his dagger out, as if rushing out the front door to see why Brutus was knocking this way. For he was Caesar's angel, Brutus was. This here was the most unkindest cut of all, because when Caesar saw that Brutus could stab him like that, his heart broke, and that's what killed him. Not these wounds, no. Caesar died of a broken heart, and then he fell. Oh, what a fall there was, my fellow Romans. Then I and you and all of us fell down, and the traitors got their way. Now you're crying, aren't you? I can feel your pity. These are gracious drops. Just think how you would weep if you saw what the traitors did to his body. We really can't show his body?
I'm sorry. I don't think it'll be necessary anyway. People are calling for revenge. They want to burn down the murderers' houses. Wait, aren't these the same people that wanted to carry Brutus to his house in celebration?
Servilia, if I may.
I really don't think you need to say more.
Please, Everybody needs to calm down. The people who did this to Caesar are honorable, remember? Why they were upset, I don't know, but I'm sure that they'll explain themselves and answer any questions. Look, I'm not here to tell you what to think or what to feel. And I'm not a great speaker like Brutus is. I'm just a simple guy that tells it like it is. And I loved my friend. That's all I got. I'm not clever. I don't use fancy words. I can't put on a show to tell you how to feel and make it like how I want you to feel and think. No. I can only tell you what you already know. I can only show you, to the extent that they'll let me, Caesar's wounds, which are like a bunch of little mouths that can no longer speak, and ask them to speak for me. But man, if I could speak the way Brutus does, I'd put a tongue in every wound of Caesar that could move the stones themselves to start a riot.
Okay, that's it. I'm cutting you off right there. People are going absolutely nuts. There's riots in the street.
But wait, they still don't know the full story about why Caesar deserves their love.
Seriously, I think you've said enough.
But the will. They still don't know what's in the will. Come on, they gotta hear the will.
Okay, well, whatever happens, it's your responsibility.
I've got it right here.
I still don't know where you got that.
Let's see. Okay, here it is. To all Roman citizens, to each and every one of you, Caesar leaves 75 drachmas.
Is that a lot?
Yeah, that's a wad of cash for every single one of them.
Now, why would you go out of your way to tell them this at this moment?
And that's not all. He also leaves you all his private parks and gardens and newly planted orchards to all Romans and their children after them. That's who Caesar was. Will there ever be anyone else like him?
Mark Antony, sir, I need you to stop right now. There are reports of absolute chaos in the street. People are setting things on fire. They want to burn Caesar's body in honor of him. They're seeking revenge on the murderers. Is this what you wanted?
Now let it work. Mischief, thou art afoot.
And you don't care what happens next.
Take thou what course thou wilt.
Mischief, you mean? Yeah, it sounds like you don't care what happens next. Oh, well, it's at that point that your servant shows up to tell you that Octavius has already come to Rome. You wanted him to wait outside of the city until you could gauge the reaction of the people.
Well, yeah, where is he?
He and some guy named Lepidus are at Caesar's house.
Lepidus. Then that's where I'll go next. This is better than anything I could have wished. Fortune is smiling on us, Servilia.
It's absolute chaos in Rome, and fortune is smiling on you?
What's going on with Brutus and Cassius? Any news of them?
Yes. Your servant says that Brutus and Cassius were seen leaving Rome as fast as they possibly could.
They must have heard that I turned the crowd against them. Yes. I need to get to Octavius immediately.
Sure. Thank you for your time.